Recognize Mr. Garcia for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you for allowing me to wave on to the committee today. I want to thank all of our witnesses, particularly to Ms. Manny. My heart goes out to you and everything that obviously you've experienced. I also want to just note a couple other cases I think are important. A few weeks ago, fake images were circling online that put real students' faces on artificially generated nude bodies from Beverly Vista Middle School in Beverly Hills. We're talking about middle school students. We know that that's completely predatory and unacceptable. I know a lot of examples have been discussed today. Also, just weeks ago, AI-generated pornographic deepfake images of Taylor Swift were viewed more than 45 million times. Now, media investigations showed how easy it was to get AI software guardrails to post these images and how platforms struggled to prevent people from sharing them.
Will the gentleman yield for 1 second? We need to waive you on unanimous consent to have Representative Garcia from California on the subcommittee for today's hearing, and without objection, so ordered.
Thank you. Now, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to introduce this article entitled "The Taylor Swift Deepfake Debacle Was Preventable." These are all really serious issues. Now, fortunately, someone like Taylor Swift had millions of fans that came out to defend her, to protect her online. They flooded social media with junk posts to bury abusive content. The phrase "Protect Taylor Swift" was over on 36,000 posts that were shared. But we know that Taylor Swift fans and Swifties can't protect everyone, and certainly not people that don't have that platform. And so Congress has a responsibility to act. Now, deepfake pornography accounts for 98% of deepfake videos online, and 99% of all deepfake porn features women, while only 1% feature men. A 2019 study found that 96% of all deepfake videos were non-consensual pornography. And it doesn't matter, of course, whether you're a billionaire, one of the most powerful women on earth, whether you're Taylor Swift, or a middle school student. Deepfake pornography and the manipulation of images is deeply troubling and predatory, particularly to women across this country and girls. Now, we know that deepfake images can also be used to intimidate, harass, and victimize people. And oftentimes, if you're targeted, there's nowhere to turn. And I know, and Ms. Manny, I know in your situation, you received little to no support. And I just wanted to ask you, how did you feel you got any support from the actual school itself?
I received zero support, and it is disappointing that I have to sit down in here and, fighting for the girls of Westfield and other girls of United States because my school didn't have the balls to do so. Also, in contrast, as you mentioned, the Beverly Hills incident, that principal or a superintendent, withdrew the boys from the school, completed his investigation within 10 days. He did the right thing. Was it an easy choice? No, but it was the right thing. And I think our girls should not be solo gladiators fighting for their rights. It's shameful that in 2024, we need to fight still for our rights.
That's exactly right. And I want to note that the Beverly Hills middle school case, students were actually expelled in that case. The principal acted quickly, and it's important to note, all young girls deserve equal protection. That also happens to be a school that's very well resourced, with parents that are constantly advocating. It's in Beverly Hills, and so it shouldn't matter where the school is or the resources parents may have, but every girl deserves protection at every single school or at any student period. I also Professor Wallman, we know also just briefly with the remainder of my time, we know that Russia and China and other hostile actors are targeting our elections. We've seen deepfakes already used to do that, whether it's targeting President Biden or other elections that are happening as well. Can you explain how what's happening right now is undermining our election security and as well as our national security?
Sure. So I think it can boil down to what deepfakes do is, as I said during my testimony, they create a liar's dividend, which means that when anything could be false, then everything is presumed to be false. So we lack, therefore, when we know that AI can be used by Russia and hostile countries to undermine our democracy, then we start disbelieving everything, right? We don't start just disbelieving the things that are actually false. We start then allowing people to say, well, how do I know that it's true? It could be a deep fake. And when we disagree on even just the basic things, democracy ceases to work.
And I appreciate that. I think obviously deep fakes are oftentimes being used for entertainment purposes. I mean, look, I've seen deep fakes on funny videos, on things that could be entertaining, but it's also deeply troubling when it affects our elections, and certainly when it's affecting people and young people in our country. Before I close, I just want to introduce a written statement into the record from Dr. Marianne Franks. Dr. Franks is the President and Legislative Tech Policy Director of the Cyber Civil Rights Institute, and Eugene L. and Barbara A. Bernard, Professor in Intellectual Property Technology and Civil Rights at George Washington Law. So I'd like to just
Without objection.